You know, Forbes has some pretty strong language for people out there spreading false information that the movie Superman was anything but a financial success. Forbes put out an article yesterday to kind of outline and highlight just how much money and how profitable Superman is. They wrote this in their article. They said there's a lot of mistaken analysis out there about James Gunn, the DCU, and Superman. Some websites, mostly, this is what they said. Some websites, says Forbes, mostly on low-quality fan sites that push rumors and clickbait, are trying to spin things as if Superman is some sort of box office failure and that audiences aren't interested in the film despite generating more than $100 million in profit. Goes on to say $100 to $150 million in profits at the box office with great reviews and audience scores, but you can safely ignore it and anyone pushing those false narratives. They go on to write, Superman also earned universal critic acclaim and high audience scores, as well as strong streaming numbers and home entertainment sales and rentals. The film has already generated significantly more than $150 million, approaching or exceeding $150 million globally when all is said and done this year. It didn't underperform. It was widely beloved by mainstream audiences and most fans, and no amount of resentment or wishes or lies will change those facts. That's from Forbes.
Like the Marjorie Taylor Greene of newspapers.
There's just a lot of mistaken analysis out there based on low quality fan sites that push rumors and clickbait. Okay. You guys will remember, as of a couple of months ago, the major outlets like Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, all reported that Superman had made significant profits. And then out of nowhere, another outlet came out and said, no, wait, Superman lost money. And then they explained how they thought it lost money, that I did an entire segment on to break down why their math was wrong. Like simple math, their math was wrong. The reason Variety, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter were all reporting these profits, and yet this one little place, and Forbes is calling them out saying just these low quality sites based on hate and stuff like that. You want to know who was the outlet that came out when all the other major outlets were reporting that Superman was profitable? Do you know who the outlet was that came out and said, oh, no, Superman wasn't profitable?
Based on what we read, it could not be Forbes. So
Forbes.
No.
It was. So it was Forbes back on October 6th. Forbes put out this article with their wrong math that said that their final estimation was that Superman lost $42 million. And that obviously everybody who was just looking for some affirmation bias was just looking for somebody to say something that they wanted to hear, that Superman lost money, when every other reputable thing reported this thing is made in the hundreds of millions of dollars of profit, guys. But Forbes said that, and so all these places started running with it. See, Superman lost money. And now Forbes today says there's a lot of wrong information based on low quality fan sites that push rumors and clickbaits. It was you.
You're breaking my heart, Annie.
Forbes.
I knew it was you, Fredo.
Yeah.
Are the ones that started that whole thing. You were the low quality fan site that pushed rumors and clickbait. You are the ones that did it. And now they're coming out.
I love rumors.
And hoping that we all just forget that all that started because of a mathematically inaccurate, poorly researched thought piece put out on their own site. It was Forbes that put that out, that got the whole thing going. And now they're writing an article saying, don't pay any attention to those low quality clickbait sites that are telling you Superman didn't make any money. You are the ones who told people. I don't know. I remember I started saying,
you got Forbed. Someone said you got Forbed.
That's great.
Well, John, do you know why the Saudis have come in with Larry Ellison to have a consortium of money to buy Warner Brothers?
Why is that?
Because they want to restore the Snyderverse. Clearly.
Yeah. Don't. As I know you're being facetious. Don't even give breath to that nonsense.
On the podcast, they can't see
For that
expression.
that there's absolutely complete zero base in fact. Just don't even give any air to that nonsense. Anyway,
Come on, it was funny.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. So I, some time ago, I made somebody recognize that, because I used to use Forbes a lot as sources when we do stories. And somebody pointed out a couple of months ago, hey, you're not using Forbes very much. I'm saying, yeah, I found, like, hey, with their financial reporting in the world of business, that's one thing, but I found their entertainment stuff. And this is just me. I'm not trying to cast shade on anybody. I swear I'm not. Just for me personally, I started to find some problems with their entertainment reporting personally. So I just decided not to use them as a source anymore. Mm-hmm. But I just couldn't help but chuckle a bit here when I saw this Forbes, chastising whoever those low quality clickbait sites are, spreading this false narrative about Superman losing the money. It was you. You're the one who did it. It's like when my wife tells me to meet her at a restaurant at 7:00. And then she calls me at 7:00 saying, where are you? And I say, I'm at the restaurant. She goes, I never told you to be at the restaurant. Who told you to be at the restaurant? You told me. That may or may not be a true story. I plead the fifth. But anyway, Rob, they are now accurately reporting, Forbes, that Superman made upwards of $150 million. By the way, I don't think it was that much. I think theatrically, I think it made more, around 100 to 125 million in profit. I don't think it was as high as 150. But that was just theatrical. Then they reported that they became the highest VOD of the year, that they made in the first 2 weeks of it being on PVOD. They made like another 40, but that's a side thing. I like to just focus on box office. Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Guys, as the days start to get shorter and it starts getting dark before you've even had dinner, this time of year can feel a little heavier than usual. And something I've been trying to do lately is to reach out to people I haven't connected with in a while. Just last week, I messaged a buddy of mine that I haven't talked to in a while, and we just grabbed lunch. And afterwards, I found myself thinking, why didn't I do this sooner? This time of year isn't easy for everyone, and staying connected really does matter. We're better when we have community, when we have support, and when we make the effort to check in with the people we know and love, and check in with ourselves. And for a lot of people, reaching out for therapy is the same way. It can feel like a big first step, but once they do, they often say, why didn't I do this sooner? And BetterHelp can be that first step. BetterHelp's therapists follow a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. They'll also do the matching work for you. After a short questionnaire, they'll help connect you with someone who fits your needs, drawing on more than 12 years of experience. And if the match isn't quite right, you can switch therapists anytime. So this month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's better, HELP.com/Campea. So anyway, Rob, I do find it funny that Forbes didn't at least reference the fact that it was their own outlet that started that shitstorm a while ago. But at any rate, you see their new reporting on this. What's your takeaway from it?
Well, I mean, there's also things that people forget. Like, there was many corporate branding deals, co-brands with places like Dairy Queen and they made there's a high-end knife company that had branding deals with Superman. So that's a lot of money they also took in that doesn't get reported as box office, but it does get reported as profit.
But to be fair, we don't take any of that in consideration when we talk about other movies. So I don't want to do it when we're talking about Superman.
Sure.
Either, but you're absolutely right. You're 100% right.
But when you're talking about profitability, and the only reason I know that is because when I worked on Superman Returns, I was making videos for those corporate branding accounts for what they had. They had a Warner Brothers Global Brand Management. That was a whole division that was started there. So they do generate quite a bit of money. And, one of the things, John, about marketing is when they think about marketing, the studio has a marketing and overall marketing budget for their entire fiscal year based on what's coming out. So, and those marketing budgets are separate things. And sometimes we just assume that, we're adding marketing to something, but marketing is an overall, and that's an expense. That's they write that off as a business expense. So it's something to take into consideration as well when you're discussing profits. But I think that this is, Forbes is like the Wall Street Journal. They live and die based on whether or not they're a reputable outlet. And I think you're right about its entertainment reporting sometimes is very biased based on whether or not they like the people involved. It seems like it's very personal. So you do have to take it with a grain of salt. But in this case, I think that they were incensed because, Warner Brothers is a big publicly traded company. And if they're going to talk about things that are profitable, they better get it right because it affects their overall. All of Forbes is every story has to be accurate, otherwise, no one's going to listen to them. And so their financial reporting, especially in this volatile financial realm that we now live in, you better get it right because markets are rising and falling as the hours tick by. So it's important that Forbes corrects itself. But it is funny that they're correcting themselves.
I don't mean for this story to be a referendum on Forbes.
No.
I don't mean that at all. Let's to be fair, it's not like they're the only ones this has happened to. Okay. So I'm not trying to, I just thought it was funny that a lot of people, I remember when it was all happening, a lot of people say, John, why aren't you covering the story that Superman actually lost money? And I was like, because it's not a story, that they got it wrong. And now Forbes itself is correcting themselves. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Forbes is lambasting those terrible sites that put out this false information about Superman losing money, which of course was Forbes that put out that information. Anyway, whatever you guys make about all that, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.